You're listening to the Epically Geeky Show, a place for all things geeky.
Welcome out to the Epically Geeky Show, episode number 81. I am your host for the evening, Eugene Stevens. Tonight's opening question is, I forgot what it is, I had to look down here. Whenever you hear that they're going to reboot, remake, or make a sequel of something, do you usually get excited if it's returning talent, if it's new talent, or you're just like, screw it, I'm not doing it? Lainey, we'll start with you.
Sorry.
They lost it. Completely.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. Ray's killing me. Okay.
Together until he lost it.
Yeah, that was amazing. Okay, I'm sorry, Eugene.
It's all good.
Can I hear the question repeated once more, please?
The question repeated once again is, when you hear that something is being rebooted, remade, or made a sequel of, what gets you excited? The fact that they're bringing talent back? The fact that they are adding new talent? Or you're just like, screw it, no, I'm not down with this?
I feel like if they bring talent back, I get really excited.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times I'm like, we're going to reboot, blah, blah, blah. But here's like 4 really popular Instagram celebrities of today.
Oh,
I don't want to see that. I don't want to watch that. That's not interesting to me. I get excited when they bring it back and it's like people that I know. Like when they did like the Gilmore Girls thing last year, even though overall it was kind of disappointing, it was nice because they brought back like all of those characters.
Right, gotcha.
So it was cool to see. So that if they had done like a whole new thing, I wouldn't have been interested.
Gotcha. Chris, if you hear that they're remaking, rebooting, or something, a show, what gets you excited about it? That people returning, new people that you might be interested in, or are you just like, whatever?
No, they have to bring everybody back.
Gotcha.
Or they have to, and it's just, yeah. I don't like reboots. I feel like they never get it right unless they pretty much start right off where it left off.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's not even a reboot. That would be like a sequel.
It's a continuation. That's really all I want.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
See, but that being said, if they told me that their cast of Roseanne was coming back, minus what's his name?
Roseanne?
No, her too. So, Quinn, Glenn Quinn.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that. I know Roseanne's not the most popular show on this channel.
I love Roseanne.
Roseanne.
I don't love Roseanne, but I love Roseanne.
Yeah.
Like if they did a reboot of Buffy, they would have to come back.
Yeah.
I would not accept it otherwise.
That makes sense.
Okay. Parker, how do you feel about this?
For a reboot or a remake, I want brand new everything. I don't want anyone that was there before, because then that's like a soft reboot, and it's just like either do it or don't do it. But if it's a sequel or a continuation of something, then obviously I would want only the same people to come back. I wouldn't want, because then you get like weird stuff where it's like season 2 4 years later and you have like a few different people but not everyone. It's just the continuity is just messed up.
Gotcha.
Continuity.
Yeah, just really bothers me.
That word. Yeah. I'm kind of like you. I don't know. Sometimes though, whenever they reboot or remake something, I kind of like. I do like to see some people come back from time to time. If nothing else, just as like just a
wink to the audience.
Yeah, basically. So, like for example, when they said that they were redoing Voltron, I was like, okay, that's I was okay with Voltron when it originally came out as a kid, but then when I heard the people who were behind it, I was like, ooh, this sounds interesting. And sure enough, it's been really awesome. Like I've really loved the Netflix Voltron reboot.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
But otherwise, yeah, like I like to see most everyone come back, which when we get to the main topic is actually why I picked what I or what I decided to do with the topic that was given to me. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get into our main topic. A while back, we actually played we did this. We did reboot, remake, or sequel, and everyone came up with decided on a movie and decided if they were going to reboot, remake it, or do a sequel to it. This time around, I thought. I'm sorry, what?
TV show?
This time we're doing a TV show, and
TV
to change it around a little bit, we assigned everyone. I randomly drew names, and we assigned each other a TV show that we were going to reboot, remake, or make a sequel of. Unfortunately, Jay can't make it, but he had been assigned X-Men, so that would have been interesting to hear his take on that. So. We'll have to figure out, and it was the X-Men cartoon is what was assigned to him. So, but maybe we can get back with him later and find out what his thoughts on that were. So, that being said, would anyone like to go first? Volunteer with what their assignment was?
No.
No.
All right. Randomly calling on. I'm going to call on. We're going to call on Ray. Ray. What were you assigned? Like, who assigned? What were you assigned, and who assigned it to you?
So Jay, graciously not here, gave me a very interesting one where, I mean, if you actually think about it, it is the ultimate geek show, and that is the Muppet Babies.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, Muppet Babies.
Totally forgot
Oh, yeah.
how creative that show was.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
I remember watching the episode where they did Star Wars, because they pulled in actual assets from the movie. I remember watching that as a prime time special. I was like, how did a Saturday morning cartoon get a prime time special? But it did, because you're right, it was that creative, it was that awesome.
Yep.
So
now, am I getting into my thing, or are we just going to reveal each person's first?
No, let's just go ahead and go through and yeah. Just so, what did you decide to do? Did you decide to reboot it, remake it, or make a sequel?
So I had to get into research, of course, and I found out the top. Well, somebody did a top 10 list of their episodes, and I thought it was interesting. The last episode that they ever did was called The Next Generation. And
really?
So it's an episode that they pretend that they're part of Star Trek as well as Star Wars. They're the Jetsons. And then they have what else is going on here? Anyway, so Indiana Jones is in there. And which dog? Rolf. Rolf goes to the future, meets one of his grandsons. His grandson's machine kind of screws up and spits out all these different variations of the Muppet Babies. And so you have all the different episodes, all these different ones that they pretended to be are all in this episode together. And I thought that was so creative.
Yeah, it is.
Continue the story from there.
Yeah.
We have so much more new content to move on from with it. We've got more Star Wars. We've got more Star Trek. We can include a whole bunch more. So I would continue the story. Just pick it up like it never left off and just continue on. So, I mean, you could still have a Stan Lee cameo because he was in one of them.
True.
And he loves cameos.
Yeah, he does.
He was in the comic Capers, which is number 7 on this person's list.
I feel like if I were an actor, I would like to be just a cameo actor.
Yeah.
Minimal amount.
Yeah, that's all I would want to do.
Like, where's Waldo?
Yeah.
It's like a day on set. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Eat for free all day, and then you shoot for like an hour.
Oh,
and then you
yeah,
go
I
home.
get that cheese toast from Craft Services. Mm-hmm.
So,
do you know that you specifically know there's cheese toast and craft
Yes.
services?
I do know that.
Oh.
just to kind of go over what if you don't, or if you never heard about what the Muppet Babies was about, it was about the Muppets as little babies, obviously. And they would get into these scenarios and they would use their imagination to try and tell a story. And it was just playtime for them. But what was really cool is that the show's executives or whoever, they got the permission to use actual clips from the different shows that they were parodying, essentially. And yeah, so you had Star Wars, you had Star Trek, you had
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters was in there. You had what's his name from Late Night? Johnny Carson was on there. Like there's so many things that they could pull from the history. They did Marvel. The Amazing Spider-Man was on the show, and at the time they revealed it that it was actually the baby animal was Spider-Man, and like there was these different things that were really cool. They did video game one. They did. So I mean, this is like the ultimate geek one that you could get into.
Yeah, some of these I don't even remember. Like I'm going to have to go back and watch. Like I need to see if I can find some of these and watch them with the boys because the boys might enjoy them.
I remember that Indiana Jones one. That was my favorite.
You're on YouTube, but it's really
they're really
quality.
crappy quality on YouTube.
Yeah.
If I can find, I'm willing to. I'm probably going to be buying the DVD if I can find it because there's like 170 some odd episodes.
Yeah.
And
plus now they can record it all in 4K. That'd be awesome.
So what I was thinking is Netflix owns a lot of this, or obviously it's Disney that owns this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If they picked it up, they could go on, and so now you can get things like Johnny Test, Voltron, Adventureland, Gravity Falls. I'm thinking Stranger Things would be kind of a cool little.
Stranger Things would be awesome.
And they would do that too, because that's a very Jim Henson-y thing to do.
Yeah.
Chris suggested Harry Potter.
Oh my God, yes.
You have all of the MCU to pick from.
Mm-hmm.
You got The Simpsons, which would be kind of cool. Maybe like a daydream where The Simpsons are that type of thing.
That'd be cool.
I want to say DC, but the problem with DC right now is that they can't get their shit together.
Right. Yeah.
The new Ghostbusters would be kind of cool to parody and get into as well. Maybe help that franchise out. Parks and Rec would be kind of fun to
That would be awesome.
That would fit that very well. Mm-hmm.
Now, are you thinking? Would you stick to being animated, or would you want to try to do live action?
No,
Animated.
Okay.
I think animated.
You can get away with more.
Yeah,
true.
You can.
Muppet
Still
Babies.
using the live clips. I think that's such a clever way of doing it. You could use different live clips from different shows and just work it the way they did before, but just update the animation, but still have it retro, if you know what I mean. Like I hate when they update the animation.
Quality.
Yeah, a better quality.
Yeah.
But by no means are we going CGI or anything like that. Like I think it still needs to be
just good,
So, like,
competent
classic
animation.
Yeah. So the
I
last.
have sorry.
Go ahead.
I was curious because since Muppet Babies was a thing, they've introduced different characters into the Muppet universe.
And so you
Would
could
we include those? Yes, because I want to see animated Pepe. He's my fave.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but that's the thing is, they tried redoing the Muppet Show,
Yeah.
kind of like The Office.
It wasn't good.
Didn't work. Whereas
I watched every episode.
and I wanted to, I just couldn't get into it.
It was awful.
So the last two shows that I thought would be really kind of cool to incorporate into this whole world would be Doctor Who, actually the new one, right? Like,
oh my God, that would be so awesome.
Oh my God.
And then just for shits and giggles, I threw John Wick in there too, because how cool would that be?
That would be amazing. Oh my God. Muppet 3-gun stuff? Oh, yes.
God.
That would be so awesome.
Oh, God.
Anyway, that's my take on this whole thing. It's quick and dirty, but I mean, he gave me so much to work with that I couldn't pick anything. I had to pick it all.
Right.
And it just had to be a continuation. Because why not, right? Like it's...
Yeah.
No, that's
awesome.
definitely a show, especially with like a cartoon series. It's one of those things where there's no reason not to continue unless the story's just gone to garbage. There's no reason not to do a sequel because you can trade out some voice actors here and there if you need to, but it's not like anyone's gotten older or anything like that. So,
well, and again with that style, And with the way that they ended the series, you could just continue on the way it was, right? The next day they're right back in the nursery, and then slowly introduce the new characters. They happen to join. Hey, we just moved here, or that type.
So yeah, that'd be like the first season is reintroducing all the new people.
Yeah,
I love that. I want to watch that show.
Right.
One of them could be like you could parody that Rey is. One of them is acting as Rey from Star Wars because she's kind of out of the loop and not really she's being introduced.
I love that.
Damn it! I want this show to happen now.
I know, right?
And then it's all canon.
Go talk to Bob Iger. He'll pretend like he made it up, but he'll still pay you.
As long as it gets made, right?
Make their own Muppets whole stage and all that stuff over in Futureland or something.
There you go.
There you go.
They do have a Muppet stage. I just don't know what's going to happen to it. I'm very scared that it's going to go away.
It is going to go away.
Oh, and I'm going to cry and cry and cry.
Do you remember? It was actually a wicked spot to cool off. So if you ever go to Florida and you're ever going to go to it was a really nice spot. There's not a lot of people going into it. You got the theater there and you could just chill out.
It was air conditioned.
It was air conditioned. It was...
There's a merchandise location back there that no one is ever in, and it's really cute and looks like the Happiness Hotel from Great Muppet Caper. So, just saying.
Yeah, you know what though? I really enjoyed the and there's another one like you could actually get the Muppet Babies into that one, and then how cool it'd be to have a starfighter flying over you. And
exactly.
Yeah, nice
with Muppets.
I love the Muppets.
Good first start. Good job, Ray.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's really good.
Well, thanks.
All right, so Lainey.
Yes.
Who assigned you a show, and what show did they assign you?
I was very lucky, and Ray assigned me a show.
Okay.
Because Ray's nice. So, Ray assigned me Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Okay.
Which is perfect.
It was the show I loved when I was a kid.
Yeah, we used to watch it. Explain it to our kids, and it was like, no.
I was terrified of it when I was a kid because I was like, these are creepy stories. And then I actually watched it and I was like, this is amazing. So I am definitely down. I like to go back and watch old episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark? And I just, oh God, I love it so much. So I decided that I would like to do a reboot of this show because there's not really like a specific cohesive, like ongoing storyline. Mm-hmm. It's almost like a sketch show, kind of like you have like the intro with like the Midnight Society, like sketch. Yeah, basically you have like the Midnight Society meeting in the beginning and they have a little dialogue and then someone introduces a story. And that's how it goes. Like there's not, so like there's characters, but there's not really characters. Mm-hmm. So I decided I want a whole new cast.
Yes.
I want an all new cast of like kids, not necessarily kids that are super, super popular now, except, okay, I was thinking about this and I went on like 2 different avenues of thought. So at first I was like, okay, well, let's make it to where it appeals to like 10, 11, 12-year-olds. And then I remembered that a lot of 10, 11, 12-year-olds don't like good stuff. So
Jesus.
Then I just thought, they know, Cray and Riss. Chris and Ray know.
Cray and Riss.
They know. I mean, it just is what it is. Like kids today have a very different taste in TV. It's ridiculous. So instead I was like, you know what? We're going to reboot it, but we're going to reboot it so that adults will still want to watch it because duh.
Okay.
Feels super good. So I want in the new cast though, I want like people like Zendaya, I think, is a star nowadays that I think would be really good on this.
Who?
Zendaya. She was in Spider-Man.
Oh,
she plays MJ.
Yeah.
Oh, she was awesome as MJ.
Oh,
she's really cool and she's really funny, and I think she could hold her own. And then I want them to like use some unknown actors, but I want them to do a very specific thing of like the thing I used to love about Are You Afraid of the Dark is that all of those kids looked just like normal kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I wanted to kind of do the same thing that they did with Stranger Things, where they just get like normal looking kids. Also, if Millie Bobby Brown was on the show, I would not be mad. Or any of the other kids from Stranger Things. If Steve wants to show up, I'm cool with that too. It's fine.
Cameos, see?
So, but yeah, like I want specifically for the Midnight Society to look like just regular kids.
Yeah.
So I want the same premise. It's a bunch of kids that go and meet in the woods and they're trying to get into this specific society and they tell creepy stories. The only character that I want to randomly pop up is Sardo, who was played by Richard Dumont in the original series, the guy that owns the creepy magic shop.
Oh, yeah.
Just because I think he's funny and I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
It would be a really cool Easter egg for adults to be like, hey, it's that guy.
Okay, so what time period are you going to set this? Are you setting this in modern day, or are you setting this? Is this a period piece? Like, is it going to be set back in the 90s?
This is the thing that I couldn't decide. I feel like if I were making it for today's kids, I would make it like today.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like because I want to make it for me and other adults, I want to set it in like the early 90s.
Okay, cool.
You know what's interesting though is my niece is 15 now. Oh, anyway, she is obsessed with the 90s. She loves the 90s right now.
It's very in.
Yeah, it is in, and so I mean, you'd be on the pulse right now, and that would actually fit.
See,
You would be on the pulse for
Once.
one time in your
Once
life.
in my whole life.
Yeah.
No, but I think that would work though, because like, I don't know, it would make more sense too, because no parent allows their kid to go sit in the middle of the woods at midnight anymore. You know, that was a.
We'd let Logan. She's got a
live
really
in
great,
a very different place.
got a really great pardon.
You live in a very different place.
True.
That's true.
She went to an escape room last night with two of her girlfriends.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
She
Damn
loved
it,
it.
your kid's cooler than I am.
I got very stressed out when I went to one because I went with Christy and she just kept yelling Kennedy like over and over again because there's a picture of John F. Kennedy on the wall. I just kept yelling at her.
Can I come with you guys and can we do that again? Because I want to totally do that with Chrissy. That sounds hilarious.
It's really funny. It's really funny.
It would
It's
stress
like
me
a-
the hell out because I would be so focused and working
It made
on
me
it.
very anxious because
It's just
I was
like
They didn't complete
So-
it. They didn't complete
yeah,
it, but they
they-
were like given
"Oh."
minutes.
They
But she had
were in
fun.
the last room. They got
Yeah.
to the last room, and then
They just ran out of time.
So,
Yeah. But she
Yeah.
had a ball. She loved it. So we would let her. She was sleeping
I'd
over
let
at her. Yeah.
If she's just sleeping over her friends and I don't know about it, sure.
Yeah.
there you
Whatever.
go.
Fair
Or
enough.
do a lot of
As
things we're
kids
supposed
do.
to.
She knows
Yeah.
how to fire. She'll be fine.
She'll be fine. But yeah, like I think that would be cool. But here's the thing: I feel like if they made it, I'm telling you, I went down two very different avenues of thoughts. So I feel like if we're making it for adults now,
Mhm.
then we can do even creepier stories, and maybe throw some like I Survive style stories in there.
So you could have like the Midnight Club being adults meeting, talking about what happened to them as kids.
Yes, that would be cool. Oh, I like that.
That's a good idea.
Well, wouldn't you want? Because like, what scary show do kids have nowadays? Because we had,
Stranger.
yeah.
Stranger Things, and that's not even for them.
No,
No, but Logan does love it.
she does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she's smart and awesome and super cool.
She has
That's
a
why.
massive crush on the actor that plays Dustin. Like,
yeah.
huge crush on him.
I love her.
Because he's
Like-
awesome.
Her heart
Stupid.
broke at I danced with him. Like,
Yeah.
I was
She was so.
That's awesome.
I watched that sitting next to Parker. I just kept looking at him with like puppy dog eyes. I was like, but I can't. Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of the creepy stuff is.
no, creepy's not in for kids.
No, not really.
Like remember, it was like they wanted to
It was
scare.
a thing when we were kids, like Goosebumps and all that kind of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like that
Even
was a
like
big,
Animorphs was weird.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It was.
Gremlins was PG, so
Well,
Yeah.
like think about like
Wouldn't
Tales
fly
from
nowadays.
the Crypt. Like people watch Tales from the Crypt all the time.
Yeah.
yeah.
We had Addams Family and Beetlejuice cartoons. Like we watch stuff like that.
And
Oh, yeah.
Beetlejuice is creepy.
Yeah, it is.
It's creepy.
Holy shit, it is.
Well, and Tim Burton was doing a lot of his really weird stuff then too, and that was big. Even like on the big screen, creepy was in too.
Yeah, creepy stuff's not as in now.
No. Well, because I think a lot of parents don't want their children to be scared.
See, now here was my next thing.
Oh boy.
So, if we market this towards children, because I personally think that the world is really just as scary as it was in the 90s. But I don't think kids are as aware of it now as I feel like we were. Because, like, I don't know, as a kid, I was very, like, JonBenet Ramsey happened when I was a kid. Like, that, you know, everything was very, like, upfront. Also, I probably walked in on too many episodes of Forensic Files when I was growing up, but whatever. Maybe just a little. And so this would be a really good way to, like, warn kids off of, like, doing stupid stuff.
Unsolved mysteries.
Holy shit. Unsolved mystery.
Made for 11-year-olds.
Oh my god. It's terrifying.
Never leave
Robert
that.
Stack.
She wouldn't. She just would stay at home all the
Like,
time.
they do the dramatic recreations, but with like teddy bears and like
Guys,
string. And stuff.
I have a hard time going back and watching Unsolved Mysteries.
I can't watch it. I've never been able. It's never.
God, it just creeps
used
me
to
out
watch them all the time.
so hard. But, like, I don't know. I like the idea, though, of getting to tell, like, these creepy stories again and, like, you know, telling them to kids. And there's a lot of really good ones. So I feel like if you wanted to market it towards children, you could stick with a lot of the same stuff and some of the, like, goofier characters, and it's telling creepy stories. And then if you wanted to market it towards adults, you could throw a little true crime in there and some really good I Survive stories.
Yep.
You know?
Either way,
So-
honestly, it would work. I mean, you're right about not marketing anything creepy towards kids now. So it would definitely be a niche that could be filled and probably do very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think kids want it because, like, a lot of kids do watch Stranger Things and they really like it. I feel like that is an untapped market.
Kids want it because they search for YouTube for, like, the top scary real stories of this or whatever, and that's how, like, look at how far. What's that?
Slender Man.
So yeah, that spread like wildfire through.
Yeah, that and Five Nights at Freddy's was.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Nights of Freddy. That was big.
Yeah, I
So
think there's
hard.
still those kids out there that want to be scared.
Yeah. Oh no,
Those-
definitely.
Yeah, and they can handle it. That's the other thing too. Like, we were having, because Logan's going to be 12 in January, so we're trying to figure out how to.
Where's the line?
Where's the line? Where do we let her go and self-censor herself? Like, okay, you're old enough now. You watch that and it freaks you out. It's kind of your
you're
fault.
on your,
You're on your own.
I
Like,
had that moment.
yeah.
I saw a thing on Charles Manson when I was pretty young, and it creeped me out, but I was, like, very interested.
Yeah. So where's the line?
So-
And we don't want to.
You don't want to
wanna
freak her out either.
Freak her out, and we also don't want to shelter her so much that
Shocks her.
Chelsea gets into high school and she's got some friends that are like, you want to see some shit?
Yeah.
And she's like,
Yeah,
It's like,
she needs
this-
to know what that shit is. Like,
This
ahead.
Hostel movie will really mess you up.
yeah.
Dude. Yeah, see, knowing where my line was kept me from having to ever see a Saw movie ever.
Yeah.
Ditto.
See, but I thought Saw was good. Anyway.
You gotta watch the first one at least.
No, I don't.
No.
I absolutely do not have to.
Even
like-
just for what it did for the genre.
I don't.
That
need it.
first one was it was actually really well done.
Yeah, it was.
That's not my thing, though. That's the whole thing. I'm
like-
not in. Yeah, I'm not into, like, the blood and the
Torture
icky,
porn.
gross stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not into torture porn. That's not my thing. I'm into weird,
normal
creepy
porn.
stories. Yeah, like normal porn. I'm into weird, creepy stories about, like, serial killers and cults and, like, what drives people to do horrible, crazy things. I remember seeing a thing on John Wayne Gacy when I was a kid and being fascinated.
So, a little off topic. Have you seen Mindhunters yet?
Yes, we'll talk about that later.
It's really good.
Sorry, you were discussing.
Dun, dun, dun.
Mindhunters.
Yeah, your girl loves to talk about some serial killers. So
Yeah, she does. I was literally about to go. Speaking of serial killers, no.
Hey Parker, what are you up to?
Yeah, Parker.
Yeah.
Wow.
No. So,
Super?
Goodness.
so Parker, who assigned you your television show, and what did you end up going with?
So I had Chris assign me Freaks and Geeks, which I was very happy with. 'cause-
You and I both lucked out because the Canadians are nice. And
Yeah.
they're like, here's a thing that we know you like.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I didn't know he liked that. I just finished watching and I'm like, this is a really great series and I'm super pissed that it only got one season, so somebody's got to talk about it.
Well,
Yes.
yeah.
So, so I had Freaks and Geeks, so that one was pretty easy for me to talk about. And Lainey is
I'm
gone.
still here. No, I'm still
She's
here.
here.
Okay, good. Okay, anyway, so as you were explaining, Freaks and Geeks kind of got a bad rap. 13 episodes?
Yep.
Yes, so it had one season in 99, 2000?
Yep.
Yeah, so it was cut short. I think the show was ahead of its time in what it was trying to accomplish and how it accomplished a actual easy to watch teen drama, essentially, is what it was, with some humor and weird stuff thrown in. So I think that show would be great now if HBO picked it up. And
Ooh, I like
so
that.
my thought, and the complaint that I have, and I think everyone does, is that the production value was pretty subpar. So I think if you put threw some money behind someone that could direct, maybe Apatow again. I don't know. Maybe.
Kind of over
thinking,
Apatow.
By the way, the director for Freaks and Geeks was Paul Feig, who went on to do such things as Ghostbusters and Bridesmaids and so on and so forth. So
and played Mr. Poole in Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
And that
directed
too.
a bunch of The Office episodes too.
Yes.
Yeah. So my thought is, for all new people, well, I say that except for Mr. Dave Allen, which was the counselor. Because
yes, can we keep him?
He is an American treasure.
Yeah, he is.
So we keep him, but other than that, everyone else is new. Yeah. We put some money behind this, like really a good amount of money, and maybe some better actors too.
Do you have anybody in mind?
I know, because I want them to be relatively unknown people, just like they were in. Because I think that was kind of the charm.
Yeah.
And that you can kind of overlook a lot of the stuff, was that it was kind of his first big deal. These were relatively unknown people, low budget, and they made a really good drama out of that, which was pretty cool.
The other thing too that I really liked about it is because I was the age, so 1999, I was turning 18, and I was the same age as these actual actors who were playing teenagers. You have to get teenagers.
Yes.
Please stop casting 28-year-olds as teenagers.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
And it gives teenagers a really unrealistic idea of what they're supposed to look like and act like and be like.
Yeah. So having the teenagers act, that was one of my favorite parts.
That's why I liked Freaks and Geeks when I watched it, because I watched it in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, oh, okay. Like this all makes total sense to me. These guys all look totally weird and gawky and awkward too.
Can I admit something real quick?
You've never seen it.
I've never seen it.
Really?
You should.
I missed
should watch it. It's good.
I've heard. I've been told by multiple people I need to go back and watch it, and it is on my to-do list. But I missed it the first time. Apparently, me and a bunch of other people who would have enjoyed it missed it, and of course, that's why it only got one season. But anyway.
Yes. So yeah, all new people except for the one person. And I would think should be set. It would kind of make sense, like around the 2015, 2016, like political era, because there was a lot of political stuff going on.
And now you have kids getting actually involved in stuff.
Yeah, and so I would like a 80% shot-for-shot remake, just set in modern times, with some stuff massaged around, because you obviously can't do shot-for-shot, and stuff would be different. But I'd like to essentially just take a new shot at what he tried to do, but throw better actors and more money behind it, and give it like a real shot, because I love that show, because those were the kids that I hung out with in high school.
Yeah, they were. You and me both, friend.
Oh, Quinn. Because Quinn is he's so awkward socially. He just doesn't get it. When I saw Martin Starr, it was like...
It's perfect.
Martin Starr is my... Bill Haverchuck is a treasure.
Yeah.
It
was so great.
Fucking dance he does. That's the dance I do when I find out there's donuts in the break room. I love it.
And that's what I love about that show is there are good actors obviously in the show, and they carry that quirkiness of, especially if you were around those people or you hung out with burnouts and nerds, like those were your peoples. So so that show will always have a soft spot. I want it done right. I want it done now. Damn it.
But I like the idea though of keeping doing the same themes, but throwing in modern issues.
Yeah,
I was gonna say because the show was set in the 80s, so would you keep it in the 80s? Would you move it to the 90s, or would you set it present day?
Late 70s.
No, I would move it to last year.
Yeah,
because I want them to those type of people to handle the problems that we had. Because there's a lot of parallels. There's a lot of political upheaval stuff. They were still talking about the war. We can still talk about wars. We can talk about all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of parallels.
Opened up a lot of good dialogue between the parents and the kids. And I like that a lot. And then you could have that same thing and make it more relatable and have a whole new generation of kids that could identify with it.
Yeah. And they could do the whole sit down at the dinner table thing because, mom wants to bring it back to the way it used to be when she was growing. Yeah. So I like that old setup too. Is really, really nostalgia-y, which is kind of fun. But,
I love that show.
So that's my answer.
I want to watch it right now.
Very cool.
Good job.
Good job, sir.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Well done.
Can we get this video? Can we get somebody, a producer of some sort, watching this video so that we can actually?
I would love to get that to fly.
Listen, we can be your idea people. We'll be your think tank.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
just supply us with snacks and beverages.
Yeah. All we need just some snack bits. No. You have Ultra's chips.
Yes, I do.
Oh,
and plus now,
guys,
just need 10 episodes nowadays. We don't even need a full.
Yep.
Shit, we can even do 6. We can do a half season.
Do you know what blows my mind is the fact that with all the stuff that's getting made now because of Hulu and Netflix, that people have not already had these ideas and done them,
or they hasn't been done. That's the part that hasn't it has not been done yet.
I feel we're in a true golden age right now because there's so many more avenues that are open.
Bro, we're still running on that golden age. How awesome is that? It's 10 years later, and we're still pumping out.
Got it.
Oof.
Yeah, well, and like we were talking about Netflix, they're just getting started. Once they lose Disney completely, they're just getting started. I think they're going to really try and take on HBO.
They would be the only ones that would be able to do it.
Yeah, no one else could do it. Hulu can't do it.
Not yet.
No, they don't have the money yet.
Not yet.
Give Hulu 5 years.
Well, and Amazon. Amazon's getting several under its belt as well, and Lord knows they've got tons of money.
I am so thankful for Amazon for bringing me Transparent.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love Transparent.
Oh, good.
First season, but holy cow!
I would say thanks for Top Gear version 2.
Oh yeah, Top Gear. It's coming back next month.
Season 2, but it's not Top Gear. It's the Grand Tour, but it's Top Gear.
Same thing.
Top Gear though.
It's so good.
Well, I mean, Netflix announced over the U.S. Thanksgiving that the rebooted version of Mystery Science Theater 3000 is getting a second season. So excited! Good. So because that, oh my god, that show was. I was going to ask Felicia Day about that, and I just was so focused on the other question that I forgot, and it was kind of starstruck.
Precious Felicia.
Yes. So,
big baby games.
Chris, do you want to go next, or do you want me to go next?
Yes.
All right. Chris, who assigned you your show and what did you go with?
Well, Miss Laney gave me my show because she's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, I also really wanted to know what you had to say.
So she gave me the Addams Family.
Nice. Perfect.
And I kind of panicked a little bit because I'm like, oh my God. Wait.
She got really excited, and then she's like, I don't want to fuck this up.
Yeah, it's like climbing Everest. You got to do a good job and everything. It's hard.
So really what I thought of was, so right now what's popular is continuations of stories, but with the children now as adults. So you have Fuller House now, Girls, Raven. So I was going to do Wednesday and Joel, because Joel was her boyfriend from Addams Family Values.
Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
So Wednesday and Joel, except Joel has taken Wednesday's last name because that's kind of man he is.
Yeah. Obviously, who wouldn't want to be an Addams?
Yeah, and they have so they live in California with their twins. So they have a boy whose name is Joel Jr. and the girl's name is Collie because she's the goddess of destruction, and they're in junior high. So I was thinking Wednesday could be an award-winning novelist, and she writes paranormal murder mysteries centering around the Bermuda Triangle.
I would have read every one of them.
Joel has a tech company startup, so now they live in Silicon Valley. So that in itself, you get these goths living in Silicon Valley, which is a bunch of tech hipsters. Just,
I'm so into it. It's like that Portlandia sketch.
Mm-hmm. So Gomez and Morticia still as it starts, Gomez and Morticia still live at the Addams mansion, and Fester and Dementia. So Dementia was, she
introduced in the last movie as well.
Yeah, at the last movie, and like the last scene at this ball.
Yeah.
So they got together. They live next door, and they have 6 kids.
Of course.
Why not? And Pugsley, bless his little heart, he's trying to be a sea pirate. And of course, Morticia and Gomez are super supportive and proud of him. So in the first episode, Gomez and Morticia decide to buy part of Joel's startup tech company, and they too move to Silicon Valley.
Ooh.
So that's as far as I got, because I'm like, I can't do this, or I'll just be scribbling things down, and I won't be able to read it anymore.
Oh, I
So
love
it's like-
this show.
So it's like a little bit of the hillbilly
Beverly Hillbillies.
Beverly Hillbillies. Like juxtaposition. That's great.
Here's what I see this being. I see this being the Addams Family meets Modern Family is what I see this being. Cutting back and forth between the stuff that's going on with Morticia and stuff, and how they have their own side plot, and then how the kids have their own side plot, and how they all intermingle. And
So like mockumentary style? Or are we kind of going like two-camera style?
no,
Have you seen Life in Pieces?
I haven't.
So Life in Pieces is a sitcom, but it's done in like 4 acts. So each act is like and it's based around this family, parents and 3 siblings. They're all adults, and they're just their life and how it's separate but connects. Just like 4 acts of just this family and what they have to deal with. I like that show. Anyways,
I love that.
yeah.
That would be
Are they
so
are
awesome.
they aware of the camera, or is this straight
No,
up like
aware of the camera.
sitcom style? Gotcha. Okay.
I'm into that. So,
Yeah, dig it.
and I assume this is live action, correct?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a set today, I guess,
Yeah, I would think. Well,
or last couple years.
or in the 2000, like the early tech boom.
Oh.
Early
Oh,
tech
I
boom would
would
be
like
good.
that. That would be
Okay.
good. That early tech
Yeah.
boom is good.
Mhm.
Also, it would be hilarious to like watch like Wednesday have to go with Joel to like meetings and stuff like in like nicer parts of California.
Mm-hmm.
Or having, what I picture Wednesday is having to deal with like fans of hers coming up to the street just talking about
How do you come up with your
How
ideas? And
fanning her
Oh,
with like emotion. She's
Great,
just,
great aunt.
So basically, Murderino's stalking her.
Yes, like me.
yeah. And you come up to Wednesday Addams, you just pour your heart out, and she's
Oh,
looking.
I love you so much, and I know she's not going to give me anything back, and it's okay. I don't want her to.
She's just like, thank you.
I love it. Oh my god, I love it. That makes me really happy. Oh my gosh, I love this. Also, can we talk about the fact that I love Chris, because I knew when I gave her the TV show, I was like, she's going to incorporate canon for the movies because she knows what's up. I love it.
Awesome.
because so
Yeah. Have to have watched them enough.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I quote Addams Family Values every Thanksgiving.
You know, I think I know I've seen the
Except
original
the-
Addams Family twice. I think I've only saw Addams Family Values once.
It's a village town. Really? I've
Yeah.
actually seen Addams Family Values more times than I've seen the original Addams Family.
Really?
it's
It
about
came
50,
on TV more.
Oh, okay.
50-50.
yeah, it's about 50-50 for us because it's a staple in the house. So
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, the kids have to watch whether they like it or not.
Yep.
Most of the time, they just leave.
I love the original. I could watch Morticia Addams be Morticia Addams for hours.
Oh, Angelica Houston. Oh my god.
Just born for that role.
Yes. But you would have to get. I feel like you would have to get unknowns for this with maybe the Morticia and well, you can't. You obviously have to recast Gomez because Julia's.
you have to recast, but damn, I hate to be that actor because
Yeah, that's a big shoes to fill.
That would be
Sure.
some big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Is it weird that I actually think Antonio Banderas could do a good job with that?
Oh, he could.
Could.
That's probably the only acceptable answer.
Yes.
He could, because he could.
The only acceptable answer.
He almost played a version of that in Spy Kids.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
So now, would you go the Back to the Future 2 route and like flip them upside down so you can't tell it's...
No.
Ooh, there you go.
Oh,
I like that.
Oh my
I'm
god!
kidding. Jeez. Relax.
Are you?
Yes.
Oh my god! I could cast this thing all night.
I know. I was trying to think who I would want as Wednesday, and it would be like Kristen Ritter. Just because she's just so naturally pale and thin.
So would we be
And she
having?
can do that dead behind the eyes really well.
Dead, or like because she's got really great resting bitchy face. Yeah.
She's a very still actress.
Yes. Very.
You need.
So would there be
stillness.
like CGI, or is this going to be practical effects?
You might have to with Thing,
Right. Well, yeah, that's kind of my main thing I was getting to.
but no, real. Because then it just makes it that much.
Yeah.
Lurch would move with Gomez and Morticia, right?
Obvious. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, and there's actually a scene. I mean, they could. So there's Wednesday trying interviewing people to be the keeper of the house.
My god.
Oh my god.
All those like LA style like assistants and stuff. Oh my god. I want to watch this show.
They're
that
trying.
would be awesome.
Nope.
No.
Love that. She's asking him, what would you do? How would you handle a dead body? Oh my god. Yes.
Jesus.
I love this.
See, now I'm scared because, like, okay, so, I was tasked with Firefly, and Mr. Parker's the one that gave me that one.
Nope.
Yes.
I don't envy you.
No, it's a holy grail he gave me, and I'm like,
Which is why I wanted to know what you thought
all right.
should happen.
So, that being said, so yeah,
Everybody just.
Well, the thing is,
what
you could
did-
go.
how badly did Eugene fuck this? Okay, so
But there's no wrong answer. There's really not.
well,
There's-
actually, there is. There are several wrong answers, and the first two wrong answers are doing a reboot and a remake.
Hey, no. Oh, I'd argue that.
I think you would immediately get lynched if you said, "Oh, hey, we're gonna do Firefly's coming back and we're remaking it," and people would be like, "Nope, fuck you." So I
It
thought
would be.
the only way I could do this would be to do a sequel. So that's what I went with. Now, there's another reason why I decided to do to go the way that I did.
So putting Serenity in this, or we
Yeah,
pretending
'cause
Serenity
that's-
didn't happen?
Serenity
Yeah.
has to be canon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Damn.
here's why I'm doing a sequel,
Mhm.
and it is going to focus on no one from the original. And the reason is, I don't want to live in a universe or play in a universe of Firefly where Walsh is not here.
Yep.
I
Right.
can't. Oh yeah, I can't. That broke my heart.
That was my one thing. I was like, nope, not doing this. So, what I decided is, I'll get to that in a second. So it's 10 years later. I had to double check on stuff, right? So after the events of Serenity, basically, the Alliance is falling apart, and it has been, it started falling apart basically because of the movie Serenity, all the events that happened in Serenity, and it's a new resistance group formed from the Independents. So basically, the brown coats are like, it's our time. We need, it's our time to step back up. And we're going to focus on a new group of smugglers. These smugglers are going to be getting resources to the resistance. And I figured at this point, you could have cameos from the people who want to do cameos come back. Mal, for example, could show up as a higher level, probably not a general, but maybe, definitely a higher level captain, maybe within the resistance. So he shows up where, we throw around these names from time to time. So, but I came up with totally new characters for this. And I was like, I can't, these can't be carbon copies of the people who are on there. So the first one I came up with was Captain Mark Singer. We're just going to call him Sing. He idolizes the old Independents, but you know, he wants nothing more to be a brown coat. He's not a brown coat, but he wants nothing more than to be a brown coat. So he idolizes everything about that. So he does everything he can to make himself out to be a brown coat. So,
do any of these new characters, are they related to anyone in the show, or any ties at all?
I didn't want to go down that route. Nope. I'm going.
Fair enough.
I'm going TNG on this.
Okay, fair enough.
So, we've got first mate Edward Tobin. We're just going to call him Tobin. He's an older guy. He's the father figure of Singh.
Father finger.
Yeah, there you go. He has a deep
territory here.
Yeah. He has a deep hatred of the Alliance for killing his family. So there's his kind of tie into why he's doing this. We have pilot Michelle Walker. She's a smartass. She's sexy. She's a hotshot pilot. You know, she's like, oh, I'm in the pilot seat. I can get it done. Mechanic Jason Osborne. Introverted, genius, geek. You know, we got that character. Now here's where I kind of like, I was like, all right, we had to have kind of a twist in here. So our mercenary is basically, his name's going to be Dak. He's a former Reaver.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
He takes meds to keep everything under control. So of course, you know, we have these episodes where shit, it's been 24 hours. Dak's meds are wearing off. How are we going to handle this type of thing? But that might seem extremely aggressive and extremely strong. So we've got a brute that we can do things with. So,
I like that.
We have therapist Vanessa Reinhardt, a former Alliance researcher. She joins the crew late, probably not until maybe the end of the pilot, maybe the second episode or whatever. She's interested in Dak's mind. So the reason why she's there is she's basically like, you know, I want to research this and see if is there something we can do to reform the Reavers. She's not trusted by Ed because he hates the Alliance and she used to work for him. So, but she likes Singh. So we kind of got the love interest there. And then I threw in a couple other people. We've got Jen and John West. They're a gay couple. They're outgoing. They're saving money for their retirement, which is just one more heist. And of course, you know, one more heist.
Yeah, one more big one.
Heist. Yeah. So like I said, and they're always planning on, after this one, we're not, you know, we're done with it, but you know, they always seem to keep hanging on. So, and then at the end of the first episode, Singh decides that he's going to name his new ship. It's an updated version of the ship, but it's very close to the older style. Because he wants to be a brown coat so much and just loves everything, he's going to name his ship the Serenity, and that's why the name of the series is Serenity. So,
there you go.
Like I said, I was like, I have to go TNG on this because if I don't know who all I could get back, and even if I got one or two people back, the whole time you're going to be thinking, well, why didn't they bring back this person? Why didn't they bring back this person?
No, that's the right way to go with that show.
So,
but can I suggest one thing though?
Sure.
No.
In every episode, there has to be at least a flash, kind of like Seinfeld did with Superman. There has to be a bust or picture of Nathan Fillion, and just like in every episode, there has to be at least
that
one
would
in
so
the background.
work out well because, like I said, because the captain is so in love with brown coats, everything brown coat.
That's what I'm thinking.
That would be epic, actually.
Yeah, and you know the nerds would go crazy over an Easter egg every episode.
Every episode, looking for that bust.
I can see in the pilot the way you reveal that he's obsessed with the brown coats is he has a shrine and he's talking to himself and trying to boost himself. Or you even have Nathan Fillion doing it as you know, talking him up and all that stuff. But it's
in his head. Yeah, I love it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So, like I said, we could have. The people who we want to get back that we can get back show up for different, episodes or, different, they show back up, for whatever reason. But, we're not dependent on that and we can keep going. And like I said, the biggest thing is, the whole time you'd be like, well, why didn't they bring back this person? And we sure as hell can't recast.
Yeah, no, you can't recast.
So, like I said, when you gave me this, I was like, "Oh fuck, what am I gonna do with this?" So, but thank you for giving me because I had to do a lot of thinking. I really enjoyed the research on this one. So,
I like that. I'd watch that show.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So
pretty good.
Well done.
Well, alrighty.
So,
yeah, go on.
well, I have a question about that. Would it be like regular cable, Hulu, Netflix, HBO? Like, what are we, miniseries?
I would like to see
regular
this,
series.
I would like to see this on. As much as Fox is apparently doing all right with the Orville right now, no.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know if I see this being Netflix. I almost see this being something like Amazon or Hulu, like saying, all right, yes, absolutely, we'd love to do this. And then like pouring a shit ton of money and effort into it because they know this might be their their flagship. You know what I'm saying?
I could see Amazon doing that.
Yeah. So.
I could definitely. The thing to bring people over. Like, hey, we also have stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
Look what we got.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this would definitely. I don't see this being on cable. So, this would definitely be a Hulu, Netflix type thing. So,
I guess cable is kind of dead,
especially because the first show didn't do well on.
Yeah, so I guess you wouldn't want to shoot it a foot before it even starts.
Yeah.
So all those normies on watching it on cable, right?
Maybe they would actually show it in the right order.
Yeah, no joke.
There you go.
I don't have cable anymore.
Do what?
People do.
There are people.
Normies, that's who.
Or those
Norms.
or those people who have figured out to call their cable company and they're like, please take cable. We'll cut down your internet bill. Like, all right, cool. I have almost done that. I have almost thought about taking one of those deals, going to pick up the box, and then just promptly putting it in the closet. And be like,
that's what I have.
As long as my internet would be cheaper, yeah, I would think about doing that. So,
yep.
But, well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our episode for the evening. Let's go ahead and move on to our picks and pans. Would anyone like to go first?
I'll go.
All right, Lainey, what is your pick and or pan?
So I've had a very murderous couple of weeks. Not to say that anything's happened. I got to go to a live taping of one of my favorite podcasts, My Favorite Murder, a couple weeks ago in Dallas, and that was really cool. And then this last week, this is my pick, by the way. This last week, I finished Mindhunter. I started watching it actually with Parker, and then he and I both finished it this week. So it's been a very serial killer heavy week. Mindhunter was super good though. By the way, I have two picks. So Mindhunter was stupid good. I really, really loved it. It was really, as a murderino, I know a lot of little facts about a lot of these serial killers and stuff. And so when they talk about them and I hear them mention little things, it's kind of fun because I'm like, I knew that. Oh, I know about that. I know who that guy is.
Yeah.
I got really upset because I was watching Mindhunter with Parker and I kept trying to figure out who one of the dudes was, and I won't spoil it, but I thought he was one serial killer and he wasn't, and then I felt like a sham because I guessed wrong.
Fraud.
Yeah, I know. I was like, don't tell anybody that I said this person. But my big pick for this week. So obviously there was news this week that Charles Manson died, which fucking good fucking riddance, man. Enjoy that deluxe condo in hell, you motherfucker. But the Charles Manson murders, those were the things that got me into true crime when I was a kid. I remember seeing a documentary or some kind of 2020 special or something on him when I was pretty little. Well, too little to be learning about serial killers.
Right.
Or cults or any of the other horrible stuff that he was into. And that was the thing that really pulled me in because I was fascinated. I could not understand what all the hubbub was about this dude, and I just needed to know everything about him. Hubbub, you're welcome. So with his passing, something popped. I listened to a lot of podcasts, obviously, and one of the I had heard tell of this mini series. But there's a podcast called You Must Remember This. It's really good. It's all about old Hollywood and a lot of the weird stuff that's gone on in the very first century of Hollywood as it was coming up, which is really which is fascinating to me in itself.
Mm-hmm.
But they did a series, the girl that does it, she did a series called like all about Charles Manson and all about his like coming, like it starts with his childhood. It talks about like him coming to California and like how he got involved like with different celebrities. I didn't know he had a tie to the Beach Boys, but he did, like stuff that I didn't know anything about. I was floored by it. It's a super good miniseries. They have extracted it from You Must Remember This and have like made it kind of its own thing because of the death of Charles Manson.
Mm-hmm.
You should definitely check it out if you're into this kind of stuff. It's so good. The production on it is beautiful. It's so well done. And the girl that does it, Karina Longworth, something like that. Do what?
Is it Karina Longworth?
Yes. She's
Okay,
amazing. Yes. She is amazing. She writes these and like produces them and they're beautiful. Like it's so well done. It's such good storytelling. But yeah, really good stuff. I listened to like 6 episodes in like a day and had to stop because it's really dark and I needed a minute. But I was like, okay, I gotta take a break. But so good. Like I've learned stuff that I had no idea about. Like apparently he totally could have easily have murdered Candace Bergen. That was that close to happening. Like it's crazy. It's really interesting. So if you're interested in this kind of true crime stuff, or if you're interested in even like cults or whatever, any kind of spooky anything, super fascinating to listen to. Really cool stuff to find out. And just a cool understanding of how closely tied he was to LA in the 60s, which is kind of a cool thing to learn about in itself. So yeah, that's my pick. Go check it out. You Must Remember Manson. It's really good stuff. So I'm excited. I'm going to dive into the rest too of that podcast because it sounds like stuff that I'm very into.
Well, very cool.
Very cool.
Ray, do you have a pick or pan?
2 picks. So at the beginning of our show, I don't think we were broadcasting, but we did introduce our new pup.
Puppers.
So his name is Wicket, and he looks like a cross between Yoda and Ewok or
Gremlin.
Yeah. So
it's a cute one.
Yeah.
Didn't feed after midnight.
Yeah. Mogwai.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's our pick. He's having a snooze. Otherwise, I'd bring him out again. But
Sleepy Bull Bear.
Yeah. Pick the second is I came across this comic. I don't know how long ago. I haven't been able to find it to buy it, but Tag and Bink. If you are not familiar with Tag and Bink, you got to check it out if you're a fan of Star Wars at all. Because Tag and Bink explain a lot of plot holes from the original series. It is not canon. I wish that they would make them canon because it is hilarious. It's these 2 stormtroopers that accidentally make things happen that move the plot along. And in the original series, and I think it's fantastic. It was really smartly written, and I think it's only like four books. But if they made like a television series or something like that, I think it would be hilarious. So,
what is it called again?
Tag and Bink.
Tag and Bink. Okay.
Tag and Bink.
I like that.
I'm looking
it up right now. Yeah.
Chris, do you have a pick or pan for the week?
Yes, I have 2 picks, and one of them is the exact same as Ray's.
No, you can't take it.
God, I don't care. So, our puppy, he's so sweet. He's the cutest puppy ever. He's
so cute.
The kids love him. I think he might be exhausted because the kids wouldn't leave him alone today. And Logan constantly is picking him up, even when she's
tuckered out.
Well, she's supposed to be taking him out to go pee, and I find her just carrying him. Like,
outside.
No, he has to pee.
Nice.
But he's so sweet. We picked him up yesterday, and he had a really long day. But he's been doing really well, and he's fit in really well, and I just love him.
Awesome.
And I picked him out.
Yeah, Chris picked him up.
Nice.
And he doesn't look like any of his others.
He's the genetic freak out of the litter. So
he doesn't look like his parents. He doesn't look like any of his sisters.
Yay, those are the best ones.
Or his brother. He just, because we wanted this specific kind of breed. He's a Havishon. And they look like Ewoks, which is why his name's Wicket. But he doesn't look like Havishon. He looks nothing like them because he's got a bunch of recessive stuff going on and he just looks completely...
He's just a little goober.
Oh, yeah.
Mugwai.
But he's going to be really little. He's only going to...
He
if
might
he's
be
lucky,
10 pounds.
Well, no, he'll be 10 pounds. If he's lucky if he gets to be about 15.
Say, how old is he now?
He's 2 months old.
2 months.
9 weeks on Sunday.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a little puppers.
Yeah, it is a little pupper.
Still
Yeah.
bears.
Little. He weighs 3.6 pounds.
Oh my god.
No,
That's so
adorable.
little. That's less than my cat.
That's about
Yeah.
what Alex weighed in when he was born.
Oh,
When he was like a little overcooked chicken.
Yep.
You're so cute.
and
Eugene was the first one to say that.
Yep.
my other pick is I just finished the Bobiverse series. We Are Bob.
Ooh.
Just finished this one, and it was so good.
Yes, it
Sean
was.
told me that it was one of the best wrapped up trilogies he's ever read, and
And
he
it
was
was.
right. He was very right on that one. It was so good.
What I like about it was they wrapped it up, but they left it open. If you know-
Yes.
But it didn't feel incomplete. Like I'm satisfied
No.
if there was never another book.
I'm good,
There's never another
I'm
book.
good.
It was totally good.
but I like that it leaves it open too.
Yes.
So I'll just leave it at that.
It was just amazing. It's one of the best series I've read in a really long time. That I actually liked the
Read.
ending. Read audiobook. That I actually liked the ending because there's been a couple of series where I've really gotten into the first two books and the third, such a lunchbox letdown where I
Yeah.
was like, I wanted to write a very angry letter. To
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you put in all that time and you don't get jack shit out of it.
Yeah.
No,
terrible.
and it's the first two books, you're like, oh my god, this is amazing. This writing is so creative. The character, I love the storyline.
Well, Allegiant, or no, not Allegiant. Yeah,
Divergent.
Divergent series is
Oh, jeez.
it's such a creative beginning. A middle was like, okay, we're going somewhere, and then that ending just
Sucked.
I couldn't even make it through the second book. I gave up.
yeah. I mean, I still had hope at that point.
Yeah, well, true. Yeah, which is disappointing because that first book that's some
Oh,
good material.
Yeah. Shut up about it. He read it first and he wouldn't stop talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to read
So
it.
she read it.
Yeah.
I got to the end. Yeah. Sorry, we're getting into marginal geeky stuff here.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's
How
all
dare
good.
you?
Sorry.
And
Oh,
just to say, like, the guy that reads, it's Ray Porter.
Porter.
Yeah, like I've gone on to Audible again just to see what other books he reads to see what other
Oh,
ones
he
I would
does such a good job.
Mhm.
Fantastic
So good.
voice actor. So
Yeah.
Anyway,
Parker, do you have a pick or pan for the week?
I sure do. I have a singular pick because I don't have a pupper. So there's this video game that I've been following for the past couple years now. It's called Star Citizen, and they just did a very large release of their 3.0. They're still in alpha, but they let people come in and play and stress test all their stuff. But they just released their 3.0 patch to a larger test audience, and it's amazing. And you can land on planets and fly around in a spaceship and have your friends man different consoles and shoot things.
Oh, nice.
The video game, yeah, it'll still be another probably 2 full years before it's released, probably to a beta. But they set up stuff that has never been done before. Basically, what we were promised in No Man's Sky is going to actually happen, and then some in this game. So yeah, if you like spaceships, if you like outer space stuff, flying around, just check it out. Said it's a slow burn. Give it another couple years before you're expected to actually play like a full-fledged non-buggy game.
Right.
But that's my pick because it's everything I've ever wanted in a space sim. Holy shit. Yeah. So that's my pick.
Very good. I too have 2 picks for this week. The first one is Mario Odyssey.
What the hell?
Okay, sorry. I'll only pick one.
No. Everyone else has 2, and I only had 1.
It's all good, dude. Yeah, my first pick is Mario Odyssey. My God, this game is so much fun. It's like they took all of the joy from all of the Mario games leading up to this point and just made this layer cake, and it's just layer after layer after layer of just awesome Mario-ness. And I have so much fun playing it. I have fun playing with my boys, but man, it is so much fun to play. And then my second pick is Justice League. The critics have thoroughly thrashed this movie, and I can see why. But because if you go to Rotten Tomatoes, like the tomato meter is like at low 30s, high 20s or whatever for it. But if you look at the audience, there's almost 10,000 people, and it's at 86%. So, wow. Yeah, there's definitely a big divide there. I understand, watching the movie, I understand why the critics didn't like it. That being said, it's fun, it's colorful, it's enjoyable. It's what a comic book movie should be. And they definitely learned their lesson from Wonder Woman. The question is it going to make enough money that they're going to continue on making it? It's made over $100 million in the U.S., over $200 million worldwide. I know the budget's $300 million. So I know they're close to actually making that. Of course, then you have to figure out how much they actually make and all the other Hollywood BS that goes into it. But I'll be on at this point, if they say we're going to get another DC movie, I would be on board. This is 2 in a row for me. And here's the other thing that's really interesting. I'm actually interested in going back and watching Batman vs. Superman, the special edition now, because the stuff that was brought up in this movie calls heavily on it and doesn't break any rules. They don't introduce some wild BS stuff. It actually makes the other movies make more sense. And I'm like, wow, they did a really good job with this. And like I said, I had a really fun time watching it. Do stay, if you do watch it, do stay till the very end of the credits, because there is a stinger at the very end, and it's I can't talk about it because it'd be spoilery, but if they could continue on with what with what we got at the very end, I would be very interested to see where this DC universe goes. So I'll just say that. As always, you can find us on the Epically Geeky website, epicallygeeky.com. You can find the show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also watch the show live on YouTube. We usually record every other Saturday night, 8:30, 9 o'clock. If you are listening to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Music, please give us a 5-star review. It definitely helps out, helps get the word out there. I'm actually looking to try to get us on a couple more services. I went to Austin Comic-Con last weekend and got to sit on a panel about podcasting, and they were talking about, some other services you might want to get your podcast on that should help. And I'm like, okay. So, and then of course we have other shows on the network. We have the Marginally Geeky Show. We're going to be recording a new episode of that. Not this coming week, but probably next week. And, if you are listening to the Marginally Geeky Show, originally we were going to, do Off to Be the Wizard, but we decided to do a wrap-up show and talk about all of the books that some of us weren't able to finish when we initially recorded the episodes. So just kind of a catch-up and to talk about anything that we might have missed in those conversations. So it'd be a good way to get caught up with everything we've been reading. So, and then supposedly a new episode of Epic Rhythm and Brews will be recorded here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We're supposed to record one tomorrow.
Alrighty.
Yep.
So, and then you can find us online in our individual wacky adventures. Where can we find you online, Lainey?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at It's a Lainey Bird.
Ray, where can we find you online?
You can't right now because I'm not posting anything right now because it's just been too crazy. But I will start posting stuff again.
Good deal.
Instagram, the Lake Life artist, and I don't know. It's just Lake Life artist. See, that's how long it's been. I don't remember.
Yeah, there you go.
The man doesn't even know.
I know,
Lake
right?
Life. And then I do have a web page, a Facebook page for some of the art that I do. And that is just search for Raymond Andrew. One of the artists lists there. And I'm working on some skateboards right now, which is fun and new, and we'll see if I can get them done.
Cool.
Lack of sleep pending. So
Yeah. Chris, we can't find you online except for the shows, right? That's right.
I love that.
And then Parker, same thing. You can find us here on Epically Geeky, right?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
You can find them on Rhythm and Brews.
And the Marginally Geeky Show. So.
Well, I mean, just on the website in general.
So
I'm there.
And then you can follow my individual wacky adventure online at Optimus Gene on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For everyone on the site, have a good night.
Bye.